love stories. Hey, welcome back to Love Stories. I'm your host, Cheri Smith, Blue Heart Music, and this is a place where you just might learn a little bit about love while being entertained. All right, today's topic I'm excited to share with you. I am going to tell you about the first date with my husband after we met. This might give you some good ideas on how you might know if you've met a good match, or maybe just some good date ideas in general. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started, I want to ask you to click that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, because I love bringing you valuable content and I would really like to increase my subscribers. So if you would just quickie click on that little, well, just click it once, otherwise you'll subscribe and unsubscribe. So one click, only one click if you haven't subscribed. That'd be great. Okay, so here's the first date I had with my husband. If you might recall, if you watched the previous episode of when we met, we had met at a bar and he was wearing this hat, which I thought was like this hideous hat. And then if you watch the other video about how to ask somebody out over the phone, when he called and asked me out over the phone, like, he did it the perfect way. So if you want to watch that video and the one where we met, I will link those in the description. I'll put those links so you can check it out. But basically, we didn't do a lot of small talk on the phone. So when he arrived, we hadn't already chatted about everything. We had like a full plate of things to talk about. That's tip number one. Don't spend a lot of time on the phone with the person before your first date, because you don't want to use up, all of the good small talk kind of questions you might have. All right, so he gets to my house. He's on time, so that's good. And then he looks nice. He's dressed up, which you should always do for a first date, even if it's like a casual thing. Like, I would still make some effort, so it's obvious that you're at least trying a bit. And this time he didn't have that hat on. And so I was like, ooh, because I didn't really, notice fully how he looked with the hat on. I was like distracted by the hat or something. But when I saw him without the hat, I was like, whoa, he's cute. So, yeah, it was funny, like, I hadn't realized that. so far, the bird just landed in a bush. Oh, it's a blue jay. Oh, yep, okay. I'm gonna have to try to not get distracted by it. It's so pretty. I love blue jays. Alright, sorry, I just, it caught my eye because it flew right by the window and then it was, hanging around. It's a stellar jay. I learned about those. We have some that hang out around our house and they're really gorgeous. And of course, my favorite color is blue. Apparently, I get distracted by the stellar jays. Okay, I think it's gone. I hope it comes back though. Anyway, all right, so refocus here. So he shows up on time. He's dressed nicely. He's very, very cute. And I would say super hot, actually. So he comes in for a minute while I'm getting my shoes on or whatever. And then we leave. We're gonna go to this Japanese restaurant. Now, Japanese restaurant could be hit or miss if one of you doesn't know how to do chopsticks. So luckily we were both capable of using chopsticks, but that might be a little tricky for the other person if you're asking them to go to a Japanese restaurant and they don't know how to use chopsticks. So you can gauge that one. If you want to take that chance or not, that's up to you. If you are going to take somebody to a Japanese restaurant, I would suggest that you are able to use chopsticks yourself, at least. Okay, so we head out in his truck. We're driving to the restaurant, which isn't super far. I think it was a 20-minute drive or something. So we head out and we're maybe 2 blocks from my house, and we're just chit-chatting. And he says something that I found hilarious. And both of us cannot remember what the thing was. For some reason, I think it had something to do with Scooby-Doo, which I love Scooby-Doo, by the way. Just a fun fact about Cheri. So he says something that's funny and like, I wish I could remember what it was, but it was just something that like kind of let me know that he was kind of funny and we had a similar sense of humor. You know, we like to laugh at silly things. So we're just a couple blocks from the house and I'm like totally smitten with him already, right? I was just like, ooh, I like this guy. So we get to dinner and I think, you know, just kind of a normal small talk kind of evening. But through that, I could tell that he was really smart. And I'm somebody who really likes intelligence. And so, like, by the end of the evening, I was just totally taken by him. It was a fun night, and, you know, it was just, like, this really great date. I'm just checking for the bird. I don't see it there anymore. I hope it comes back, though. It's really, like, cool. Look up Stellar J. You'll see what lives around my house. No, it's not back. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by that. Okay, so what are some lessons that we've learned here? So a couple of key things are like show up on time, look nice, you know, dress up a little bit, have a solid plan of what you're going to do that evening, and don't make it too extravagant. You know, just something simple like going to dinner that's going to last a few hours. And also, don't do too much small talk before the date. So you want to leave it for the first date so you don't have awkward pauses and stuff. So for me, you know, because we hadn't done a lot of small talk leading up to the date, like when he called and asked me out, we just chatted for a few minutes, made plans, that was it. So we had plenty to talk about. So that's number one lesson. Number two lesson, know yourself. You know, if you're looking for somebody more serious, like kind of have a good idea of what kind of person captivates you. Like for me, I'm very attracted to intelligent people that have a good sense of humor. They're not like real uptight, you know, they're just kind of fun and laid back. So that's the kind of person that I could imagine myself with. You know, that's the kind of person that I wanted to marry, and lucky for me, I did. But also keep a little bit of an open mind, because as you might recall, my husband is 10 years younger than me. So I had to kind of let go of my rigid view that the person I should be with should be like 2 or 3 years older than me. So, you know, I kind of was open-minded about going out with him because he just, I don't know, he just seemed interesting. And so, yeah, it's just like such an amazing first date. So if you're funny, be funny, you know? If you're smart, say things where you're showing your true colors. Like, don't hide who you are, because you don't want to end up with somebody who is looking for something else, you know? So just be yourself. So for an amazing date, show up on time, look nice, keep it simple, don't do too much small talk beforehand, and then know what you're looking for, have a basic idea of the type of a person that would be great for you. So for things like age, you know, maybe be a little bit more open-minded, or other things that are more superficial that way. You know, if you're on the same page as somebody and you end up like really hitting it off, like, you know, for me, 2 blocks, you know, so like maybe less than 5 minutes into the date, I was like already swept away by this guy. And then finding out that he was smart and funny and cute, you know, it's like win-win-win for me. Hopefully you'll find that special someone if you are looking for that. Or if not, then I hope you just have a fun, good first date. So what are your thoughts on that? I want to hear about your best first date. Like, what made it special? What makes a good first date? Let me know down in the comments. I want your input too. All right. Thanks so much for watching Love Stories. If you liked this episode, there are new episodes almost every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And I hope that you found some value in this content, or at least liked my stories and want to come back to my channel. please hit that subscribe button so you can do that. And that segues into my second visual aid here. So be sure to like and subscribe, emphasis on subscribe, share if you like, and most importantly, I want you to know you are loved. I keep checking to see if that bird came back. I don't see it right now. All right. Nope. Okay. I'm sure I'll be back later, but that was cool, huh? I wish you guys could have seen it. Maybe I'll put a little picture of a blue jay or the stellar jay at the end of the video so you can see that. I'll see what I can find. Or if not, I guess you can just look up stellar jay on the interwebs. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for watching Love Stories. I'm your host, Cheri Smith, Blue Heart Music, and I will catch you next week.